All right, Brandon. The Bears are certainly off to a great start.
Yeah.
You're off to a great start as anticipated. I think one question a lot of people might have because of your full disclosure of your issues off the field, how important is this year in your personal life? Now, we're not talking football, but we're talking about sort of getting your life together, if you will. How important is that for you?
Yeah, well, my life is together. Well, I'm not perfect, so when I say together, that means, I'm healthy, I'm feeling good, and living life effectively, being productive. This off season was a whirlwind for us, getting traded, leaving our home, leaving our dogs, the transition to Chicago. It's been amazing so far, and the reason why is the people, so people in the community, the organization, really made this transition really easy for my wife and I. We've made more friends here than we did in Miami, being there for 2 years. I think the most important thing for us this year off the field is, really creating that foundation for our foundation. Because we really believe that you're not a blessing unless you bless others. I've been through a lot, and I think that's a gift, to have so many trials and still be standing and moving in a positive direction. That's a gift, and I'm going to approach it as such, and I'm going to take that gift and give it to others. Whenever you go through something and you learn something from it, if you can create a blueprint and give it to someone else who may be going through the same thing, I think it's important. Our foundation project, Brandon Marshall Foundation, and our program, the Project Borderline, this thing hits on both ends of the spectrum. It's not just black or white. It's not just rich or poor. It hits all of us. It may not be us. It may be a family member. So mental health right now is a taboo topic, and we're trying to educate and advocate so that this thing becomes an everyday conversation, because it doesn't matter if you're diagnosed with borderline personality disorder or anxiety or depression. This thing hits everybody, because of the stresses from marriage or work or family members, or the economy. We all can use help, someone to talk to. Sometimes people need to go through treatment or have a special treatment just for them to get through some of the struggles they may be going through right then. So for me, where I'm at today, I'm really thankful, I'm really blessed to be here, because, I went from being in an outpatient program, a little over a year ago to, sitting here being more of a therapist for others, a leader for others. People come to me now for help, whether it's in their marriage or if it's in their career. I would have never thought we would be here a year later. Now this was a 5-year plan for us. But, this new season the Lord has us in, it happened so fast. So right now, I'm just relying on the people around me to continue to take this vision that I have and make it a reality. And we're doing that, October 23rd marks our first event in this community in Chicago. We're bowling for Borderline. We're trying to raise, our foundation say 100,000. I dream big, so I'm saying 200,000. But if we just raise $1 more than we spent, it's a win for us. So, we just want to bridge that gap between the clinicians and the patients and the family members, so everyone have the right information, the correct information. It's so funny to me when, I listen to someone talk about me on ESPN or write about me, and you hear the stigmas, and that just fuels me more, because this is what we want to do. We want to break the stigmas. The most stigmatized disorder out there, and mental illness in itself is stigmatized. And some of these media outlets, they play right into the stigmas. So that's exactly what we want to do, is just break the stigmas and educate, get people the right information. Because if you look at our community here in Chicago, some of these neighborhoods are stuck in this cycle, a vicious cycle, very volatile. And some people have came before me and they tried, but talking to a kid at school, or giving a kid something on Christmas Day or Thanksgiving or doing a free football camp, that really doesn't do nothing. It doesn't get to the root of anything. And we wonder why this thing continues to happen generation after generation, because we're not getting to the root. It's more of a treatment plan that we need to put together where we can break some of these cycles that are going on in our marriages, in our community, in our school systems, where people are really getting to the root of their problem. And that could be just simply talking to somebody about their dad not being there, that pain there, or how they may view their mother in their home, or the kids fighting in the street. That affects people. Or it could be their father being there but not really active. So there's a lot of things that are holding us back. There's a lot of baggage that we are carrying as people, and it's affecting our community on a daily basis. That's why we're starting to see things really get out of hand, a lot of chaos. This is something that hits both ends of the spectrum, and it affects all of us. So we're excited about this opportunity in Chicago because it's an amazing city, but it also have some challenges in itself.
I imagine that part of your work has to do with having a plan when things go wrong and things are going well. Looks like for you in life, you made a nice transition to your new team, a new city. But do you have a plan if something bad happens?
There's no plan. Since I've been here, there's been plenty of adversity. On the field, Green Bay game. On the field, first half of Jacksonville. There's been plenty of times where you have to sit back and try to approach things in a positive, effective way where, you're being a solution and not a problem. Off the field, still have the same issues, but it's how you approach it, how you deal with it. And that's the important thing about getting people the right treatment plan or getting people the right help, because you learn skills and it becomes a habit. It becomes natural for you, and sometimes it could be in your early adulthood, or you can be 40, 50, 60 years old and adversity hits you and something may affect you that you never experienced before, and it could take you to a whole nother place. And it's so important that, like you said, we do have a plan, but where I'm at now is just so natural for me. I'm still the same guy. I still have problems where I have to sit back and think some things out, but we all do. But the good thing about where I'm at today is, everything's good right now. Without being all good, I'm just so excited about the trials that we're facing and the triumphs that, we've overcome.
And to the extent that you're great friends with Jay Cutler, it seems like you have maybe affected his personality on and off the field as well in a positive way. How does that make you feel that your friendship is positive?
I wouldn't say so.
No?
No, I wouldn't say so. As far as affecting his personality, Jay's who he is, and I'm thankful for who he is. If he ever changes, the core of him, I probably wouldn't want to be his wide receiver. And I think there's things that Jay can improve on, like we all can. But as far as him being who he is, why change it? Just make it better.
How much of a blessing was it for you to be finally diagnosed with a disorder? And to that extent, how many people do you think are walking around in this world who have not been diagnosed, who could probably benefit from a proper diagnosis and treatment?
It was very. It was like a victory for me when I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Because when I got the diagnosis, it came with a treatment. So when I got the treatment, immediately I felt better. We start attacking the problem. Instead of being all over the place, mishitting, other issues. you know, when we look at statistics, you know, you asked me about how many people are affected.